one of our beloved cryptocurrencies, is soaring in popularity and no one saw it coming. All because BlackRock, one of the biggest firms in the world, is buying XRP. Isn't the astronomical value of Ripple coins ridiculous? What is about to transpire will shortly startle the entire world. It is possible for Ripple's price to surge and reach $72. Isn't that fantastic? Please watch the whole video so that we can remove the unnecessary parts. The note, Ben. XRP is making a comeback as big banks like BlackRock are expected to compete for an XRP exchange-traded fund. The conclusion of Ripple's long legal dispute with the SEC occurs at the same time as this change, removing a major obstacle for institutional investors. A big change occurred this week when the SEC chose to withdraw its own appeal, ending a lengthy process caused by the case. The unexpected decision to abandon Ripple's own appeal against the SEC was revealed by Brad G. House, CEO of Ripple. These measures show that XRP rules are finally about to become mandatory, even though the case is ongoing. Quote, major asset managers are still unsure of what will happen with XRP, which is why they have not applied for an XRP ETF. This includes Fidelity and BlackRock. Even though WisdomTree and Franklin Templeton had already applied, the ETF store's president, Nate Jay-Z, has hinted that things might be about to change. It seems logical to take this next step with XRP, the third largest non-stable coin, and cryptocurrency aficionados are already looking forward to this transition. As soon as the case is over, Fidelity will presumably become involved with the XRP ETF initiative. At this time, both companies manage Bitcoin and Ethereum exchange-traded funds. Word on the street is that BlackRock is giving serious thought to XRP. The market would be more liquid and institutions would have greater faith if BlackRock and Fidelity did go ahead with an XRP ETF, which is why a lot of money is looking. Even if some rumors, like the one stating that BlackRock is buying XRP worth $1 trillion, are exaggerated, the fact remains that a great deal of capital is interested, such that most people can use it faster. One way to better understand current events is to learn what an ETF is. One way to invest in XRP and other assets like it is through an exchange-traded fund, ETF, which allows investors to buy shares in the asset on traditional stock markets. Trading in XRP ETF instead of buying and keeping XRPD would be a safer and easier way for investors to get exposure to the currency. Or given the green light, things would be handled differently. As an example, the price of Bitcoin soared when institutional investors flocked to it once its spot ETFs were permitted earlier this year. Perhaps XRP will do the same. Jerry isn't alone in predicting that the SEC will greenlight an XRP ETF. Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse has said as much. Although it is still just a guess and the trend is evident, some people make very big assertions. Technical expert Vincent Van Code is one such person. He predicts the SEC will approve more than one XRP ETF. He has faith that investment firms such as Grayscale and 21 Shares have applied. Everything hinges on what the SEC does next, and today's a private meeting has the potential to shift the game. Deciding to formally abandon the Ripple appeal would be the last major regulatory hurdle for XRP and enable institutions to invest on an unprecedented scale. Thus, the case is almost done. Fidelity and BlackRock are both intrigued by the idea of an XRP ETF, and the likelihood of its existence is increasing daily. Of XRP seems more potential than before, however, rules clarification is necessary to boost demand. Also, market prices have been known to fluctuate dramatically when large amounts of money enter a market in the past, so everyone is waiting for the SEC to make a move, as XRP might be about to make its biggest move yet. But just when you thought things couldn't get bigger, experts are now making a prediction that the price of XRP will go up, and you won't believe some of these numbers. We are witnessing prophecies that have the potential to alter everything. So if you consider this a mere minor step, you will not be ready for what lies ahead. This proves that XRP has never been out of the question, but that talk about it has suddenly heated up, raised to a greater degree. The high price projections made by famous people and experts have led some to believe that the token is about to undergo an unprecedented surge. In just 60 days, XRP will reach $27, according to cryptocurrency specialist E.G. Graf. Plus, Sensei thinks XRP's price will skyrocket to an unbelievable $72 per unit, and word of this is circulating on Twitter. XRP seems to be very bullish. Something major is about to happen, and your altcoins are about to go 100x. Get ready, which makes people talk more on social media. But now that everyone is so excited, people in town are debating whether or not these forecasts are true. However, not everyone is falling for the dire forecasts regarding XRP and the cryptocurrency market as a whole. The expert recently spoke out against what he sees as misleading price predictions, telling the influencers that they were mistaken when they made wild predictions, such as XRP hitting $100 next month or even $10,000 overnight. He asserted that these forecasts do more damage than good to the market and offer people are learning about these baseless accusations. The value of deep conversation was stressed by him. Evidence suggests he is not alone in his sentiments. Michael Hotch, owner of XRP, took the criticism to heart and said that some influencers try to engage their audience by posting wildly different price goals, such as $44,000 and $110,000 within hours of each other. According to him, this behavior is motivated more by a desire to capitalize on the attention than by a genuine desire to help the community. Discussion exposes a deeper problem within the Bitcoin sector: false and misleading claims. Even though the XRP community is extremely passionate, it also makes it easier for stories based on hype to circulate. The message of all things XRP is one of transformation, calling on the community to brace itself for more open communication and higher standards. There is no doubt that XRP should be widely used, implemented, and attract real institutional finance. It can't be based on speculation alone. Evidence is required. While this does lend credence to the claims of XRP's detractors, it in no way disproves the veracity of the growth predictions. Inaccurate data that isn't strategy-based might also lead investors to make bad choices. Quite a bit, because the law is crystal clear. For example, it's important to differentiate between what's realistic and what's just speculation. Even though institutional interest in an ETF is growing and it might be approved, although there have been periods of turbulence, Bitcoin has gained tremendously over the years. It didn't go from $1,000 to $110,000 overnight. Every bull run is accompanied by consolidation and corrections. Hold tight, for things are about to escalate. Due to extensive use and real market factors, not merely trending tweets, it is likely that XRP will take some time to reach double or even triple-digit prices. Given that XRP can only ever achieve its maximum value, why is this relevant? Nothing has kept Ripple in the headlines more than their price predictions and their ability to forge partnerships that have the potential to change the trajectory of events and send XRP soaring. Promising when put into practice in the near future. According to the latest agreements, Ripple isn't just going to battle in the business sector, it's going to dominate it. This means that XRP is no longer merely a hazardous product. It is becoming an important global financial hub. The largest bank in Dubai presently employs XRP, which permits many other Middle Eastern institutions to adopt. That's not everything. Ripple has teamed with Chipper Cash, one of Africa's leading payment processors, to facilitate speedy and economical cross-border butter transfers.